guys, welcome back to the Ms.Beehaven farm. If you're new here, I'm Jamie. I run this homestead here, and I will apologize in advance if you hear my chickens in the background. We are a working homestead, and as much as I try, I just can't get them to be quiet. It's the morning, so they're doing their egg laying songs. And I have to do it in the morning because it's going to be 95 degrees out today. Happy first day of fall. Yay, 95 degrees, first day of fall. It's gross. But anyway, I'll get to it. The point of this video is to show you guys an update on how my sweet potato experiment went. I have a video posted on my channel, overwintering, propagating sweet potato vines to overwinter them. And overall, huge success. I'm sorry I didn't do this in advance. I know I probably should have done it when I was planting them in the spring. But you know, that's sometimes just not my style. And I also am just first and foremost doing the homesteading things and not always recording them. So here it is. Hopefully it's time appropriate for this time of year though. Like I said, it's the first day of fall. If you're in a cooler climate, like I'm zone 8B in Somerville, South Carolina, pretty tropical, pretty coastal in the south. But if you're more northern and you get your first frost sooner, it's probably very time relevant for you to start taking clippings of your vines and saving those for next spring. Again, this was a super successful experiment. I had some that failed, so I probably took, my God, those chickens, seriously. I probably took maybe 20 clippings, and I had probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 that survived, so a 50-ish%. Again, I'm not always the greatest with taking care of my things the way I should. I get distracted, I procrastinate, whatnot, so I'm sure the success rate could be higher. But overall, 20 free clippings, 20 free clippings, I got probably 10 or 12 successful plants out of it. That's a win in my book. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now. It's September 22nd, and I have had quite a bit of pest pressure from cabbage loopers and just the leaf-eating caterpillars. So it looks kind of holy right now. But, you know, I've sprayed it with some organic insect deterrent. It's called BT, bacillus thuringiensis. I don't know. I will post a link in the comments. And that'll hopefully kick them back. But without further ado, I'll show you what it looks like. I have not dug up the sweet potato roots, obviously, the tubers yet, because I have probably another, I don't know, month before I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to let them get as big as they possibly can. I don't care if they're ginormous. I want the actual root. So I'll show you what it looks like. Take this off the camera here. Oh, the tripod. All right. So this is my sweet potato bed. One of the two. Just to kind of give you some perspective here. It is taking over. So this bed is this size, and the vines have literally just gone nuts. Like, there is the side of the bed. Let's see if you can see that. Sorry, that shadow is really bad right now. Right there is the side of the bed. So you can see vining all into the path. Like, I've even taken these in, like, here, this is actually a good way to show you guys. So sweet potato vines will root wherever they touch. And right here, can you see? It has rooted where it is touched. So I'm probably going to have a giant sweet potato growing in the ground here. But this is what I mean when I was saying in the last video. It is a highly prolific self-propagator. There's another one of those stupid caterpillar things. These need to go. Need to spray again. But this would be the perfect opportunity and the perfect vine to go ahead and take clippings of this one, because obviously it's not where I really want it to be. It's not going to make giant roots, although I have dug up roots in my paths in the past. So here's what it looks like. Again, the ones in the paths would be perfect to go ahead and start taking your clippings. And I mean, geez, it roots everywhere it touches, which can be problematic if it goes into your paths, but is fantastic if it happens in your beds. So that's why I will always, throughout the season, take them and just flip them into the beds. Like I just keep literally tossing them in to the bed where I want it to grow, and then try to, you know, pin the vines to the ground with maybe a landscaping staple, just to keep that soil contact, because again, it will start to root wherever it touches the soil. I don't know if you guys can see here, but it is definitely starting to root, and hopefully those ones are going to be making nice big sweet potatoes under the ground. I want to say I probably planted maybe 12 slips max in this bed, and you can see just how insane it's taken over. I'll go over here to give you another perspective. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's gone up and over. I kind of redirected it to go up and over my chicken coop. It's giving them a little bit of shade right now. It's perfect. I love multi-purpose things. But I can't even get in there. Which, whatever, right? So if you're going sweet potatoes, be prepared to allow it to have adequate space. I kind of just accepted that we eat a lot of these, and I am willing to dedicate 2 full beds to growing them, because organic ones can be quite expensive, and they're a very super nutritious staple in our diet. They grow a lot better here in our tropical climate than white potatoes do and new potatoes do. So this is a great, super easy vegetable. Like I said, I do have some issues with, you know, it getting holy. Like the leaves don't look great. It looks kind of raggedy, but they grow back so quickly that once I give it a good another spray, it'll just bounce right back. Like you can see, it's already got new growth starting. So a vine like this would be what my ideal suggestion would be, like a very healthy looking vine, one that doesn't have a lot of pest damage, although I could just spray it off and it'll be fine. So I'll go along here and I'll just pick like the really healthy looking ones. And I try to get, so in this bed I have 2 or 3 different varieties of potatoes. I have a purple one, I have a gold one. I think that's it for this one. And then in that one over there, which I will show you in a second, has also a lilac version, a gold version, and an orange version. So yeah, I'm growing 5 different kinds of sweet potatoes. Like this one will be perfect to take a clipping of. So as you can see, I probably got through the winter with, like I said, 10 or 12 just little measly looking vines. Guys, do you have to be so loud about your egg laying? I'm so sorry, guys. I know it's crazy. They are very loud. And then I ended up just taking off and being this giant, flourishing bed of sweet potatoes. They will flower too. I don't know if you can see here. There are some flowers that are starting, which the bees love, so that's fantastic too. You can actually eat sweet potato vines. I haven't tried it yet. Let me know if you tried it. Here is my other bed. This one had a little bit more pest pressure, so I sprayed it and I covered it with this netting, which is fine because, again, I know it will flower, but you don't need the flowers pollinated to get this crop. So I pulled this up just to show you guys in this video, but after the video I will put it back down. These are the hoops that I've done several videos on, just plain PVC, and I use them for a lot of purposes. Like for instance, right now I'm using them for the tool, which keeps the moths from laying. So once I spray it, I get all the caterpillars dead. I can prevent further pest pressure by having that physical barrier controlling those moths laying eggs. Because obviously you want to break the cycle. You don't want to just keep spraying and have them just keep coming back. But again, this one is also going nuts. It went all over the place. I took a bunch of clippings from this one, and that bed obviously gets a little bit more sun. You can just see in comparison how much better and how important your sun is in terms of placing vegetables in the correct spot. So yeah, just want to give you guys an update. It's doing fantastic. Like I said, I have not dug up any of the roots yet. This is a Jersey yellow variety. And you can't even tell where the original plant was without having these tags. So I put the tags here. This is where the main plant started, and then it just rooted and went nuts everywhere. You can see everywhere it touches, it has these roots, which is great because I want the most amount of roots possible. That's the purpose of growing this, right? Alrighty, so that's kind of an overview of what my beds look like right now. Like I said, I have, I can't remember how many days I have left till frost. I think our first frost is November 9th. So I have, what is that, a month and 2 weeks? 6 weeks left till first frost. I'll post in the comments once I look it up. I have a countdown widget on my phone. Just a little hint, that's super helpful if you're a gardener. So I'm gonna let these things go as long as I possibly can. They love water. I'm making sure that I give them a lot of extra water. And I'm gonna let them go until, you know, it's about to frost. If it does frost, you wanna make sure you cut off the roots of the soil surface and you don't leave the dead rotting vines attached to the roots. I have a video on how I harvested them. You can check out that one as well. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful. I'm super thrilled with the progress. It was free. Like literally cost me nothing to do this. So easy. They root so easy. And it was sustainable. Like I never had to buy new slips in the spring. If it's hard to find things in your area or you have a very rare variety, I don't know if you know, but like I said, there's a lot of different varieties. I have a Korean gold, a purple one in here that I think I just rooted from a store, sweet potato. I have a lilac and Jersey yellow over there, and also a Beauregard orange one. One more quick thing before I put the camera back on tripod and I show you how I rooted these. I have an extra one of these felt grow bags here. Again, sorry the sun is so harsh. It's going to be a very hot sunny day. And it was not being used. It was from some tomatoes that had, they were done. So I decided, again, we'll go for an adventure here and you guys can see, like, that's where my bed is. Stops right there. This is all spilling over vines, right? Like, I kind of wanted to utilize the potential of these vines because I've exhausted the flip overness of these vines. That is packed. So I just threw this grow bag over here. If you have any pots, I actually also plan on, if you're a homesteader, you learn to salvage a lot of things. But I'm going to put some drain holes in that, and I'm going to put that next to it too, fill it with some dirt. But a container would be fantastic to grow sweet potatoes into because you can just dump it out. So I just kind of tossed a bunch of the vines in here. I can't remember if I used a landscaping staple or not. But I just literally took a huge wad of vines and I just stuck them in some soil here. And you can see, I'm sorry, it's hard to show you with the vines everywhere. You can see here, it has rooted. It started to root and I need to kind of duck those in there. And I'm making sure I water it really well. But you can see the vines just, they want to root. You don't even have to try. Like they will do it all themselves. They want to root wherever they touch. And so we'll see. I will flip this over and I'll do another video on the harvest again. Again, it'll probably be another month and a half or so before I do that. But I figured it's not hurting anything. It's literally just wasted potential if I leave that grow pot unused and I leave these vines over here without the potential to grow more tubers. So yeah, that's that. If you have a friend who has sweet potatoes, ask them for a couple clippings. And it's just, like, I can't say enough good things about this. Let me see if I can get over here and show you guys this. It's like going through the freaking jungle, seriously. I saw here we go, a flower. So pretty. You can see how gorgeous these are, so they can become ornamental. And it's becoming shade for my chickens. All right, let's go back over to the shade and I will show you guys how I rooted these and how easy it is. Give me 1 second here. Alrighty, back in the shade where it's a lot cooler. I wanted to show you just 3 ways that I've rooted these. If you haven't liked my channel or subscribed to my channel, please do so if you like these videos and share with your friends. Hopefully I can start making a little bit of income on this. Although I love doing it and sharing the information, it would be nice to have a little bit of a kickback. So help me reach my 1,000 subscriber goal. That would be awesome. I would really appreciate it. But here we go with, this is the lilac variety that I wanted to make sure I save because it's kind of more rare. It was a mail order variety, and I want to make sure I save that into the next year. So you can see it's just water. Like I just clipped these things off the end of a vine, and they want to root. Like every nodule or node where a leaf comes off, they root. So make sure you clip off the leaves so the leaves aren't in the water because that'll make them rot. But just literally stick them in water, guys. Go around, pick your best ones before it freezes or frosts because you don't want to have it kill the vines. And save a backup, a copy, an insurance policy for your sweet potatoes. I do this all the time with like tomatoes and stuff like that too. These are a more neglected version of what it looks like. I will be the first to say I have ADD, I procrastinate, I get distracted. Again, things don't always get done at the appropriate time. So I'm here to tell you, if you're like me, it's okay. They will make it. You'll be just fine. They're very forgiving. They need a little TLC, but you can see they still have roots at the bottom. They're still trying to root here. Again, not the ideal version of this. But if I put this in soil, it'll still probably root and survive. So tons of them. You can see the roots. Again, this was dry a day ago. I totally forgot to put water in it. But they'll root like crazy. They'll root like crazy. So just go ahead and stick them in water. And then ideally, and like I showed in my last video, because I'm not going to go over it again, you just take them like this. When they've rooted, you put them in some soil. They're good to go. Keep them in a warm place so they don't get frost or freeze. I stuck them in my greenhouse. Honestly, they look dead, guys. So coming out of spring, the ones in the pots, the vine was totally dead. It was like a stump, like a little twig, a stick. And I didn't have a lot of hope for it. But I kept watering it, and as it became spring, and eventually I started to see some growth. And so I flipped it over the pot. I looked at the soil. There were little sweet potatoes that were starting to grow. The roots looked good. I knew I had a chance. So I stuck those suckers in the ground, and within days of some fertilizer and some sun and some more soil, they were off and running. Already seeing new growth. So check out that video. Like I said, I will link it in the description. But once it gets to this stage, all you gotta do is pop it in soil, and you have your copy ready to go. These are ones that I actually spilled. That's how it works here. I did these a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago. These ones I was actually on time with, and took those, put them in this. It was just an experiment to see if I could grow some slips to sell because I wanted to be able to share these with people. And this is all you need to get a whole plant off and running. And I'll show you here how these look. Oh my gosh, it's rooting everywhere. It's crazy. This needs to be potted up. So that's like just at the cusp of where it needs to be potted up. But you can see, went crazy, totally roots. Totally went crazy. The roots are everywhere. Very healthy looking, white, bright, vibrant. And so I'll take this now and I will put it up to a bigger pot, and I will overwinter it in my greenhouse in a big pot. And if you need to, you can go through and just snip it again. Like this was one clipping, snip it again. This will continue to grow. It'll probably actually grow new roots and stems up the base of the plant here. You can root that. Now your one clipping has turned into 2. And you can do this an infinite number of times up until it starts to get dormant throughout the winter. But just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. Again, this is just a little 4-pack, just stuck some soil in it. I knew it needed some dirt. And Again, insect pressure a little bit, so I need to be better about that. We can only do so much, right? So give it a try. Again, it's free, it's sustainable, it's probably the easiest propagation you're going to do. And if you have a warm place in your house, it'll last all winter. I had to remove the ones that were in my house. So I know in the video I had mentioned I was going to try 2 different ways, in the greenhouse and in the house. The ones in the house did fine, but they got these spider mites on them, and I needed to get them out of my house because I didn't want the rest of my plants to get this. So I wasn't able to continue that experiment, but if I had put some effort into, honestly, let's do the truth, okay? Let me just tell you the honest truth. Took that pot outside during the day when I noticed it, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and spray this with some neem oil and rinse it off really good, and I'll put it back in the house. It'll be fine. Thing happened. I forgot about it. Shocker. And it was winter, so it got super cold and frosted that night, and it died. So, you know, that's life. So, not saying it wouldn't work and it was a failure. That was like a operator error on my part. So, I would put money that it will work if you keep it in your house if you don't have a greenhouse. It's just going to be a vining plant. Like the greenhouse has the same, if not less favorable environment than your house. So again, make sure you sanitize your plants though before you bring them in, like spray them with a neem oil, or make sure you get all of the bugs and things out there that could hitch a ride off before you bring them in your house. There's a ton of YouTube videos on how to do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that sanitation practice, and it came back to bite me in the butt. So I won't keep this too long. This is already a long video. Just wanted to show you guys the options, how well it's worked. I've been super thrilled with it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications, because I will definitely go ahead and do another follow-up video when I turn over these beds, and I can show you hopefully the abundant harvest of sweet potatoes that I get from this experiment, overwintering, free propagation type of experiment. So thanks for watching. Share with your friends, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Bye guys.